From Tampa Bay's #1 news station, this is the Fox 13 4 o'clock news.
All right, well, you know, a lot of us, especially self-included, spent the past weekend watching football, maybe even doing a little tailgating. Sometimes the tailgating can be more fun than the game itself, right? If you get to the right tailgate. But there are some things that can go wrong. I hate to be a buzzkill, but could go wrong at the tailgate that could have you seeking the advice of an attorney. Well, we're going to cut out the middleman for you, and here's the attorney right here, Jim Giardina, Consumer Rights Law Group. All right, Jim, so I feel like we should have played the Mayhem from Allstate commercial where the people's barbecue grills are blowing up and stuff at the tailgate. But what are some of the big things that could occur at a tailgate that we may want to watch out for so that we don't wind up in legal hot water?
Well, that's a great question, Chris. The rules governing tailgating are sort of the same rules that govern our daily lives, right? Laws regarding private property rights and your responsibility for your own private property. Laws regarding injuries and your responsibility not to injure people or what to do when you get injured. Plus, you know, we have a few other things that sort of come into play at tailgating that don't come into play every day for us, such as what do you do with weapons, or what do you do with alcohol? How do you manage strangers when strangers want to come to your party? So it's more or less common sense laws that govern our everyday lives.
I'm sorry, I'm having like traumatic flashbacks here because we're showing tailgating video from the national championship that was played in Tampa a couple of years ago between Clemson and Alabama, and we will not talk about how that turned out. But alcohol is obviously a big part of tailgating for a lot of people. What if, you know, you're having a tailgate, there are a lot of people maybe drinking from your cooler, and it turns out that you don't know everyone, and then it turns out that either A, someone was underage in that group, or maybe it's not an underage person, but someone gets drunk and does something harmful to others. Are you held responsible for that because it was your cooler or your alcohol?
Sure. Well, you know, number one, I think the biggest law there is giving alcohol to someone who's under the age of 21. That is a big no-no. That is
so
breaking.
You should ID people that are coming up to you.
You have to. You have a responsibility to do that. You know, if the rule, when I was a bartender, the rule was if they don't look 30, you need to ask them for their ID. You can go to jail. You can get fined. And if you give alcohol to someone under the age of 21, even if your car is someplace else, the state still has the right to suspend or revoke your driver's license.
Even if you weren't driving?
That's right. Even if it has nothing to do with your automobile.
Wow.
It's written into the statute because, you know, the state wants to discourage people from giving alcohol to underage people.
And real quick, with under a minute left here, what if you do have an accident, like a grilling accident, or, you know, someone trips over your grill or what have you? Are you held liable for how you were set up at the tailgate or anything like that?
Well, you know, it's the same as anything else. If you were negligent, if you failed to warn and someone got injured because of your negligence, if your negligence was the cause of that injury, then you're responsible, right? So, you know, if someone gets injured and it's not because of your negligence, you're probably not going to be responsible for that.
Oh, you've made me a little nervous about my next tailgate. But we'll end on this. Since you said you were a bartender and you would card anyone who looks under 30, would you card me right now?
You know, we're on TV, so of course I would.
Right answer. Good answer, Jim. Jim Giardina, Consumer Rights Law Group. Thank you for your time. Linda?
Didn't Clemson win that game?